How much more awful could this possibly? Oh, dear God. Do we even try?
Can drinking water before bed burn 46
No.
pounds in 2
No,
weeks?
it can't.
If you are
Those are
struggling
chia
to lose
seeds.
weight and
No.
you're over 25, you need to hear this. People
not
are
water.
burning too.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Hello, did he say hello, monkey, when he walked out there? Wait.
ladies and gentlemen,
Yep, he said hello, monkey, to Kimberly Guilfoyle.
ladies and gentlemen,
Hello, monkey. Barf. Just fucking barf. Hello, monkey. That's, yeah. That's...
ladies and gentlemen, Executive Vice President of the Trump Organization and host of Triggered with Don Jr.
Hold on, what is the... I didn't know. The audio is just lower on her.
on Rumble. Please welcome Don.
Here on wait. Shit, here on
Ladies
Rumble?
and gentlemen, Executive Vice President of the Trump Organization and host of Triggered with Don Jr. on Rumble. Please welcome Donald Trump Jr.
You walked out too fast, cokehead. That's the problem. I'm using Matt Gates' Walk On Music. We've got dude music and dude songs. That's literally what's happening. Excuse me. I don't know why I got a tickle in my nose. I think it's just like when cokeheads walk on screen, it just makes my nose itch. I don't know why. It's odd. I reject it instantly. Thanks. They have dude music and chick music. That's what that is. The chick music is sort of countrified rock, and the chick music is that, and then the dude music is like shit guitar new metal country. I'm a wrestler. I'm a country music hunter with a big old rifle. Hope for everybody.
I don't know, guys, but this feels like MAGA country. All right, so a little surprise for all of you. Check under your seats. If there happens to be a gold chocolate bar underneath there.
Ew.
That's a VIP. Oh, I'm not joking. That's a VIP ticket to my father's reception tomorrow at CPAC. Because your president, President Donald Trump, will...
Wait a minute. I've been farting through a chocolate bar all goddamn day and not knowing it.
...be here. He's not out raising money from the billionaire Chinese sympathists. Like
sympathists? Sympathists.
Others, you know, Matt, they're going to do that. Well, others didn't show. I was like, yeah, they're raising money from the people who don't necessarily believe in America first. But
he means DeSantis, by the way. And I got to say, that's a pretty janky, shitty gathering. Please tell me that's the last few rows. Because some people are checking under their seat, I suppose, which is going to be a big activity for some of them.
Because they need their money. So who's got gold bars? There's one. Another. You're a lucky man, sir.
Any of the chicks with big tits got them? Do any of them? I thought we picked these out. I thought Hans, Booby, I can give them to you.
More? They may do some more. Look at that, another one there. Well, I think you guys will have an awesome time. Yep.
Don't eat it.
There's people gaming the system. What are you, Democrats? You're trying to get under other seats? They're
yeah, it's you don't get to blame other people for the behavior you're seeing in your own people. That it doesn't work out.
Ballot harvesting, Matt. By the way, my political speech for the day, if we don't start doing the same thing the Democrats do, none of it matters.
Right. So this is, remember when we saw Mike Lindell saying we can't ballot harvest. We can't vote early, all that kind of stuff. It's a mistake. It's a terrible idea. He's talking about this line that Don Jr. and a couple others are pushing.
All right.
And Bannon and Lindell are saying no.
Hey, remember that. Like, we have to be ballot harvesting. For the first time, perhaps ever, we're actually winning on the issues, but we can't implement
Are you, though?
all of the things that we want, like the logical things like same-day voting, paper ballots, ID checks. Like, even the socialists in Europe are like, you seriously don't have those things? Like, they're left.
So, I'm sorry, so you want to get elected to office the same way socialists do? Okay.
Some of the lunatics on the left here, and they're shocked that we don't. But guess what? While we want all those things as Republicans, we'll never get them if we don't actually play the game.
Right. So the important thing I think he's going with is they believe that the Democrats only win by cheating, and so what they're saying is we have to cheat so that later we can win legitimately. Oh, thanks, William.
Right. The left has
I'm not kidding that was the look on his face, by the way.
weaponized COVID.
They weaponized COVID. I thought the Chinese did that. You guys stick to one talking point?
They weaponized the pandemic to change the playing field. And guess what? We can't implement.
Well, if they did that, then why didn't you guys have a red wave?
The things that we want if we're not in control. So in the meantime, until we take over those institutions, usually in the state legislatures, it won't matter. So we have to play the game on the battlefield that they've laid out. We have to start playing the game aggressively like they always do.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't do that, it won't matter.
So I don't know if he's actually floating this for his fucking dad at this point, but does that mean his father's going to start pressuring people to vote early? Because he's been toying with it.
You could have
which is going to turn Mike Pillow against him. It's going to be glorious.
whoever, the greatest candidate in the world, the greatest policies in the world.
Jimmy Carter?
And a guy like John Federman would be able to beat them. Hey, guys, I'm the one that's willing to say this stuff because someone has to, because it's insane what's actually going on, right? And when I said...
Yes, it's crazy that your dad was actually president. It's an absurdity, and we all look back at it with some pained bemusement.
Like, I don't know, it's sort of weird that Pennsylvania managed to elect a vegetable. They criticized me as being ableist. I didn't know what that was, but there's always an ist, right?
He knew what ableist was.
There's always an ist, and it doesn't matter what you're talking about. And apparently an ableist is someone who discriminates against those with disabilities. I said, well, I'm not discriminating against an ableist. I'd love for John Federman to have, like, good gainful employment. Maybe he could be, like, a bag guy at, like, a grocery store but, like, is it unreasonable for me to expect, as a citizen of the United States of America, to have a United States senator have basic cognitive function?
He does, but he's recovering from a stroke. Also, during the time that people are treated for chemotherapy, for example, if they have a particularly bad bout of cancer, or if they have heart disease and they have to have an operation, there are periods throughout our nation's history where people have gotten physical maladies, and this mental health issue that he has is a physical issue. Even his depression caused by the stroke itself is a physical response to something that just happened to him. It doesn't make him unqualified or make his judgment poor. Fetterman's a good guy. Like the president. He means your dad.
You make a solid point, sir. Why should a United States senator be held to a different standard than the president of the United States himself?
That would, the way you're talking about it, technically that would be the same standard that Fetterman, if you're making the case that Biden has dementia and Fetterman has some sort of mental incapacity, both of them keep their job. It's not a different standard. It's the same standard. So
we have to fix all of that.
Yeah, fix it. Yeah. And you know, if your dad ever has a chance to be president once, he'll, too late.
Right? But again, we can't fix it until we play the game their way. The other way.
Oh, because we win all the time? You mean because we're winners? Because we win and do stuff, and because we pass things like the infrastructure bill? And
we have to start doing that, folks, is we have to start voting with our wallets. Okay? The number
You're broke.
one thing that we can do to make sure that our values
Yes, he votes with his wallet. For cocaine. All right.
exist into the future is fueling the Patriot economy.
Oh, this is his little side hustles that he tries to get, where he tries to sucker maggots into pouring money into Trump's coffers, are failing miserably. They're and oh, by the way, the whole fucking, oh god, I love this. The fucking SPAC. Is it DWAC? DWAC, NASDAQ, give a dog a bone. Hold on one second. Is this older? I'm trying to get the newest one. Hold on. There you go. Whoops. Hold on. Get out of here. The deep dive. Here you go. DWAC, like Donald Trump, stiffs payments. Blank check firm Digital World Acquisition Corp, NASDAQ DWAC, is risking being delisted from the NASDAQ exchange after it's not paid certain fees to satisfy a continued listing rule. While the company said it has elected to file an appeal on the NASDAQ notice of delisting and promised to pay the corresponding fees, its non-payment of necessary dues draws parallel from the recent actions of the namesake owner of the SPAC's target for a reverse merger, Trump Media and Technology Group. DWAC is working on a highly extended timeline to close the pending merger deal with the former U.S. President Donald Trump's TMTG. The company hasn't explained why it hasn't paid for a listing fee. There you go. Online platform The Daily Beast, meanwhile, recently described how Trump still hasn't paid some of the reimbursements to the city police and fire departments from which he secured security detail. In Sioux City, Iowa, for example, the former president still owes more than $11,000 in unpaid reimbursements to the city police and fire departments. You know, back the blue.
Just this week, I mean, this wasn't even going to be my speech until yesterday. I started a news app with my friend Taylor Butterwich because
to take advantage of you suckers and create a slaughterhouse corral for fake news.
I got sick of, perhaps me, because I'm so immersed in this stuff. I knew about the Hunter Biden story, but no one else did.
Yes, no one else knew about, quote, none of us knew he smoked cigarettes in the bathtub. We were all shocked.
It was in the New York Post, which is like the second oldest newspaper in America, but big tech made sure no one else ever saw that article. We now know.
Which almost everyone who wanted to see it saw it immediately. Everybody else had to wait, an hour? Or they had to click on another link?
That like 17% of Democrats wouldn't have voted for Joe Biden had they.
Bullshit. Bull fucking shit. Bullshit. Bullshit. They keep saying this. Bullshit. Everybody knew Hunter Biden was a crack addict at one point. Everybody knew he had a troubled life. Everybody, the idea is 70% would have, if they proved that there was influence peddling that had resulted in China and Russia controlling, or Ukraine controlling Joe Biden, they wouldn't vote. Even at that point, I doubt it.
They heard of this. So, under
Gibberish.
The auspices of
just, again, horseshit.
Build your own, right? We've been always told, build your own. Now we try to.
Is that what your dad's been telling you? Is that why you're still the executive vice president of the Trump organization?
Build our own, and then.
Yes, build your own. Build your own Trump organization.
Amazon Web Services throws you off. Or
because you're using it to foment a coup.
Apple won't let you on the App Store.
Because you violate their terms of service.
Or Google does the same. They say build your own, but they don't really mean it, right? They're not like, oh, you just do it your own. We're going to put up every roadblock possible.
Well, I mean, obviously there are limits on what you can build and what they will carry. Just because you built it doesn't mean you get an automatic slot. That's not how life works either. You don't get to muscle your way in front of the line of everybody else, especially if you don't live up to the standards of whatever company you're hoping will carry your fucking business. In the same way that if you have a truck that is too heavy for regular roads and you pull off and get measured, they're going to either make you unload part of it or they're going to fine you and take your truck away. You don't get to go, but I pay taxes on these roads. Yeah, well, so does everybody else. And if you wreck it, you wreck it for everybody else because you're gaming the system.
Possible to make that happen, but we took the advice and we built our own. We created an app that simply aggregates news. And that
Oh, no. It aggregates news and it gathers fees and also sells advertising to benefit him. It's not that he didn't do this as a 501c3.
SEM news, like minute by minute. We take articles from the left, articles from the right. I mean, I look.
By the way, there's already multiple services that do this. So again, the brilliance of the art of the deal. What's the greatest business model? Take a segment of the marketplace that's already overserved and create a shitty adjunct just for people who already like you. It's genius. It's the Trump water model. In New York City, where you're up against Voss and fucking Sparklets and everybody else, and like, I know, a water brand.
Yesterday.
What makes it better? Absolutely nothing. It just has my name on it.
We had stuff from like Mediaite on there, like not exactly what we'd call conservative material.
Which is probably why your own viewers didn't use it.
And Taylor, while operating the business, goes to check our account balance and finds out that we have zero in our operating account.
Amazing. I mean, this is, folks, I think a lot of us try our best to be a success in life. And sometimes it's obviously it's out of reach for us because there are challenges that we didn't foresee. Sometimes it's simply we underestimated the challenges that we would see. And in other instances, internally, we have an aversion to success that's almost psychological, some wound from when we were a kid that we haven't dealt with, that makes us incapable of being successful in an arena. And yeah.
There was about $750,000 in there the day before.
Huh. It's almost like you're a failure.
Calls the bank, he calls me, he's like, we have a problem. Yeah, that's a problem. Like, that's not good. Calls the bank, finds out, oh yeah, you'll get a cashier's check in a day or two. What? Like, what do you mean? Yeah, we closed out your account. I was like, wait, PNC Bank. Okay,
Boo, PNC Bank. Hold on one second, if I may. Type Public Shares, Joanna Bank, Financial Service, Pittsburgh National Corporation, PNC, key people, revenue, total number of employees, subsidiaries, PNC Bank, capital ratio 10 point, capital footage on the website, pnc.com. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, so just a Pittsburgh-based bank, good old PNC Financial Services, reasonable sized bank. Why they had their accounts there, I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah.
Boo,
like, this isn't
Pittsburgh.
Like, and by the way, it's not like we're creating news. You know, like if I was talking about the Wuhan Lab League story as the most obvious thing in the world for the last 2 years, which I've been doing, like, I'm not even creating that. But because I'll show you the New York Times alongside a Breitbart and let you make up your own mind, that still to them is apparently an offense.
No, it isn't. That I guarantee whatever fucking reason they dropped them had nothing to do with the content of the app being too balanced.
Think about
that's just like, and at this point, I don't know how this motherfucker doesn't get sued by PNC Bank.
that. PNC Bank, a major national bank, but we've seen it all, right? I had Chase cancel something to do credit card processing, I think it was, for something I was speaking, because I was speaking at an evangelical event. Now, we understand based on the testimony of Chris Wray the other day that apparently, like, practicing Catholics are domestic terrorists.
Joe Biden is a practicing Catholic, you fuck.
Just like concerned mothers not wanting their children to be indoctrinated with critical race theory.
By the way, no, that was not the problem. It was the death threats, fucko.
Not wanting their children to be pressured into permanent life-altering sex change surgeries by their rainbow-haired teacher without parental involvement or consent. You know, those aren't people to worry about, but...
Well, again, nobody has a problem. No one ever had an issue complaining about that at their school board meeting that happened. Nobody. Threatening to murder someone because of it, that's where you'll draw attention.
Practicing Catholics, concerned mothers, those are the real...
Yes, just for being Catholic or being concerned. That's a crime in America now.
Threats, you know? Remember the guys that always commit the crimes? Like, yeah, they were on our radar. Yeah, they were on your radar, but you were too busy monitoring someone's grandmother who was within 500 miles of January 6th in D.C.
Yeah, whatever.
You know,
he said parts of this last year.
Doing their actual job, but this is the FBI. You'd think, no way. They're above reproach, but the FBI is doing it. We've seen the DOJ.
Again, the FBI is doing what? Making you lose your account with PNC? What the fuck was their reasoning? Hold on. Maybe there's a news story about it. Hold on. Let's see. Maybe they didn't comment, but PNC drops Don Jr. Blah, blah, blah. Don Trump's news. Okay, news company dumped by. This is a Newsweek article. Don Jr.'s news company dumped by PNC Bank. Donald Trump Jr. on Thursday said PNC Bank informed him it will no longer be working with his news aggregation app during the live broadcasting on Newsmax. Okay, he said this. Made the comments at the among the speakers at the event. Okay, blah blah blah. Trump told Bachmann that he got an interesting letter from the bank this week before relating the letter's message to cancel culture that's going on in our country right now, the weaponizing of corporate America. At first, Trump told Bachmann he'd provide details about the letter during his CPAC speech, but he soon divulged the message that allegedly came from PNC Bank. I'll drop it here first, he said, adding that the letter was about business dealings with MXM News, which is like M&M News. It's weird. Okay, a conservative news aggregation app he launched. Basically, PNC sends us a letter, not even a phone call. It's like the breakup through text, a letter that with a cashier's check for, you know, what we had, a significant amount of money that we had in an account for a news aggregator, not even someone producing right-wing propaganda, but something that takes all the news to make sure you all see it. Trump did not provide details about why the alleged letter was sent, and the context for why PNC Bank allegedly wanted to stop working with MXM News was unclear. When reached for a comment, a representative provided Newsweek with a statement. While PNC does not comment on the closure of specific accounts, which may occur for a variety of reasons, our account closure decisions are never driven by politics. As a national bank, we recognize and respect that our customers and our employees hold a wide range of political beliefs. On Friday, they followed up with another statement that was posted on Twitter in response to a tweet from Trump on the account closure. Account closures can occur for a variety of reasons, but are never influenced by political views or affiliations of our customers. We've looked closely into the circumstances surrounding the closure of ROC Digital LLC account and determined it was mistakenly closed due to a good faith error. We have reopened the account and we apologize for any inconvenience. Along with MXM News, which Trump launched with Taylor Budowich, who once worked as a spokeswoman for Trump Sr., the younger. Okay, so it's not even closed.
Okay. We've seen the treatment of the January 6 prisoners.
They're not prisoners. They're in prison, but they're not prisoners.
Now watching our banks do this to us.
Make mistakes.
Guys, we got to fight back.
Yeah, you got to fight back. We all pick up your pitchforks. We're all heading to Pittsburgh.
I said it on this probably stage last year. It's like,
yes, you did. You're a repetitive fuck who always says the same shit.
They could take out the most powerful man in the world, the president of the United States, like they did to my father. Because if you have one guy going out there by himself, all the slings, all the arrows can be...
Well, it's... At some point, if it's one guy going out there by himself, it would seem, if I'm not mistaken, it would seem that he has no friends and no ultimate support other than a clanging chorus of cultish sycophants. which aren't particularly interested in any kind of direct policy, are just supporting the man in general. And so when he tries shit on the actual, he has to butt up against people who are actually trying to accomplish real things in the world, and he has no answer to why he wants to change or affect change in these areas, and so he catches shit for it. And he's gross at the same time.
Put on that person. They cannot do it to us if there's 175 million Americans willing to stand up for themselves.
175 million? Mm-hmm.
For
we are.
Decency.
Dude, for the record, not only are people not standing in this situation, they're not even sitting. There's a shit ton of empty seats there, and a good portion of some of these folks, like that guy's on his phone, this girl's filming, that like half the people are there like, I'm doing a project for school. Look at this, like the young, it's like an evil Ben Glebe. This looks like Chloe Sevigny like playing a character in a MAGA documentary style movie. This looks like Rittenhouse when he gets old. This is what Rittenhouse is going to look like. And then these folks are at everything. And then this dude's like, I'm wearing my MAGA hat and going to the thing, Martha.
For our values.
2 people stood up. 3.
I mean, think about what we're up against.
He got a standing ovation.
A major U.S. bank was able to cancel, and just canceled, our ability to do banking. We didn't even get a call. It was like getting broken up with by text. Like, no reason. It didn't matter what, hey, you're letting people, it wasn't, again, we're not even creating news. We're aggregating it. Check out MXM. You'll actually see both sides of the story, and you can formulate your opinion. And I'm so confident that we're right on our side that I'm willing to actually let you see the leftist viewpoint, because you will realize that they are insane.
Well, also, for the record, one would have to trust that a hyper-partisan with an axe to grind over his father's failures, when he sets up an aggregate service, may, in fact, pick a variety of right-wing and right-leaning articles that are based on a broad spectrum of ideas. So from Brett Baer to Jimmy Dore, all the right wing that's fit to, gorge, and then only pick like libs of TikTok and Jacobin level left wing stuff intentionally to go, see, we go, obviously we have our firebrands like Matt Gaetz, but we got a lot of middle of the road. They're just crazy. So the idea is the idea that you would trust his algorithm is absurd.
Why aren't they willing to show our side? Because they too realize that they're insane.
You mean Fox?
Right? So what we have to do is we have to be involved in this. It's sort of amazing. I think Michael Seifert's here somewhere from Public Square. Another one. Great guys. San Diego-based company. He was sitting there at home. He was sick of going to a coffee shop that was taking his hard-earned dollars and giving it to leftist radical causes that would throw any one of us in the gulags, with or without cost, right? They would do it just.
That's a very powerful coffee house.
Because of what we believe. So he created a list of the conservative companies that shared his values, turned it into a website, and now Public Square has gone national. They're actually going public. But we have an obligation if we want to exist.
I think he's a partner in Public Square, if I'm not mistaken. Which, hold on. Yeah. So, I'm sure you guys have seen situations where influencers get into trouble, like when the people that got in trouble for selling crypto, like the FTX stuff. Remember that? Because they didn't disclose that they were being paid a fee, they weren't users. And that happens a bunch with influencers. Like it includes paid promotion, has to be included on something so that people don't, if you just go, yeah, no, this is my favorite fart gun in the world and I'm not paid by Big Fart Gun. This is the best one. and I encourage you to pick it up using my promo code, right? That they're not selling something to you under the table or, you know, or behind a veil. Check this out. The anti-woke patriotic marketplace set to go public in a $200 million deal project backed by Don Jr. promises to promote a firm that represents freedom and vows to stop Americans giving money to businesses that hate them. Company launched nationwide 7 months ago and now has nearly 50,000 patriotic vendors and has processed millions of transactions. It's now drawn in conservative heavyweights like Don Jr. and Blake Masters. People need to stop giving their money to businesses that hate them. We aren't going to defeat woke corporations by whining on Twitter, Trump Jr. said. No, you have to whine on Truth Social, I suppose. San Diego-based company, now drawn conservative heavyweights, who serves as an investor and an advisor. Former Arizona Senate candidate Blake Masters, who's an advisor. Yeah, so what he just did was just talked about this as it's an American success story, man. It's just, you know, it's just people bootstrapping and not disclosing that he's a partner in it. This is a grift. What is this asshole doing but dropping the name of all of his products at CPAC? So far, that's all. I wasn't going to talk about this, but you know that thing I'm trying to squeeze money out of you fuckers with? Well, here's another one.
To support those kind of businesses. You're going to...
Yeah, those kind of businesses. The two that you've mentioned where you are a direct partner in.
Search it anyway, right? You're going to go on Google and find out what's the restaurant. I did it last night. Okay? I had a table of 20. I called at 8 o'clock, say, hey, we need a reservation. We got on Public Square. We found a restaurant that signed up because I know I could go there and not get booed, even in D.C. I won't mention the restaurant because they'll probably get canceled if I do, but it was sort of nice for me. We walk in, we're with Carrie Lake, and we're with Matt Gaetz and Nigel Farage. Like, it was a pretty conservative crew. That would have had a hard time probably eating in D.C. without getting yelled at. Now, I do well with that, but it's fine. But sometimes you want to just avoid.
Yeah, he's literally just, this is an infomercial for this shit.
And so we were able to find that. We have an obligation.
You were able to find that? No. You are an investor in this, and you are you're just trying to get the CPAC audience to use a product.
To get out there and support.
And by the way, grift the shit out of these fuckers. I give a goddamn. When it comes to voting, I'm a purist. You guys know that. But if these motherfuckers want to bleed each other dry, if Trump wants to pardon Steve Bannon after he rips off maggots in particular for his bullshit fake build the wall campaign, I don't care. Do you? No. That I'm not going to jump between them and a Nigerian prince either. If you want to be a gullible fuck, that's up to you.
Those kind of businesses. Because again, once we show the other side that there is pain in their wallets, I have to say that because someone will aggregate that and say that I was advocating for violence. No, but they can cancel us at any second. I mean, imagine being a guy at a bank being like, you know what, I'm just going to cancel Don Jr.'s news app. What could happen? And I have a platform of like 10 million people on Twitter, millions on Truth, millions on Facebook and Instagram. Like, I have...
Of the same people who I've already bled their accounts
the ability
dry.
To fight back. And I did, and I put it out there, I put a tweet, and we had some pretty powerful people jump in on this, like the Speaker of the House. I would not have wanted to be PNC's Bank's comms guy last night. That was probably a long evening. But again, they probably knew at least some of that was capable, and they still don't care. Right? This morning, right as I was getting on stage, it was a mistake.
Oh, so all right. He even knew it before he started this shit.
Upon further review, bullshit! Okay? It wasn't a mistake!
You're right. They reviewed your financial numbers and they fucking sucked, or you were over leveraged with the credit you have with them, and you used Kevin McCarthy to pressure them to reopen your account. They have an automated thing. I guarantee their debt to income ratio was fucked up.
Okay. Have you ever noticed the mistakes only go one way?
Yes, I mean, I think your dad considers you a mistake. Is that what you're talking about?
You know, so go check out Public Square.
Help us make money.
Check out MX.
Let me take this non-issue that lasted all of 24 hours that could have been handled with a phone call and turn it into a way to, like, try to get you off woke Yelp.
Support those businesses that support your values. Put their kids through soccer camp and soccer practice rather than funding, 10-month abortions.
Yeah. 10-month abortions. I don't think any of them have ever lasted that long.
Some of the insanity that we see on the other side. Again,
you don't see that insanity on the other side. If a woman is pregnant for 10 months, I'm going to guess there's no doctor around to help birth the child, much less get rid of it.
You have a choice. Exercise it. But the other side is they're willing to do it. They don't even care anymore. Look at this. Another perfect example. Glenn Story right here from Patriot Mobile. I promise you, folks, raise your hand if you don't have a phone. Well, I got to keep my phone away because I know, I'm on every FBI list imaginable, so I just got to keep it away because, they're going to drone me one day.
What the fuck? You are not that important, asshole. The FBI doesn't drone anybody, for one. And by the way, you keep talking. It's 7 minutes and 25 seconds in. He says he has to keep his phone away from his body because they're going to use it to track him, to drone him. What the fuck? All right. Hold on. Whoops. Shocked, I tell you. And by the way, there's the guy who said he has no phone. That's the guy raising his hand. He's not raising his hand because he doesn't have a phone. He's raising his hand because that's the guy from Patriot Mobile. America's only Christian conservative wireless provider, Patriot Mobile, is proud to partner with Donald Trump Jr. in the fight to defend our freedom. Use the promo code Don Jr. for free activation. Christian conservative wireless service provider. Does it have a porn blocker on it? Of course not. I'm kidding.
You all have a phone. You all are going to use it. Well, you can give your money to AT&T, who has in the last month tried canceling Newsmax.
Did.
Who the month prior to that took off OAN out of millions of homes.
Because they were using up space they couldn't afford. They were getting it ahead of other people who wanted the space and would pay more for it.
The parent company is actively attacking conservative mindset. Again, nothing.
They're attacking the mindset.
Extreme. It's Newsmax and LAN. It's just this stuff that we all believe. That's extreme. We can't let them even have an opinion. We can't let them have a voice. So if you're going to have a phone, you can give your money to AT&T and watch it get weaponized against everything that you believe, or you can go to Patriot Mobile.
Use promo code Don Jr.
It's that simple. But we have to start thinking this way, folks, because if we don't, it's...
Yes, the important thing is that, think like the Chinese Communist Party. Think like the CCP. The whole goal of the Republican Party now is to put a cloche over the entire party. It's not enough to live in a bubble. We've got to codify that bubble. We've got to steal that bubble.
It's over. It's not just about the political landscape. We discussed ballot harvesting again. That's number one. Right? There's a reason you can win House seats because that's so localized, but you can't win the national because you can't go to California. There are people in Pennsylvania, I guarantee you, that have no idea who was even running for the United States Senate that voted. That's true.
Based on what?
Of course. Because you could not listen. If you listen for 5 seconds to anything John Federman, you said, okay, he's clearly unfit for office. It's that's not you don't have to be a doctor to be maybe there's something wrong. The Democrats knew he had these issues, and they ran him anyway. By the way, they had some...
First of all, no. He had a stroke during the campaign.
Someone who I probably don't agree with on anything, but was at least able to function. Maybe not quite as radical. Connor Lamb. They could have ran him, but they knew even in the primary that this guy had these issues, and they ran him anyway because they want a radical extremist that wants to release murderers. And this is the party of the left today.
Yes, the left of Pennsylvania.
Right? There are still incredible, great, moderate Democrats.
He managed to win a statewide office
in America, but they have no one representing them. Because you can't win if you don't espouse the lunacy of the left today. You can't get...
You do recognize that Joe Biden was running against Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren and Tulsi fucking Gabbard. And he trounced them all. And at no point was like on board with defund the police or any of that shit.
The California, New York, Soros...
You won't even get close to the reins of power. Oh, he's president. Oh, well,
whatever it may be. And win. You see the prosecutor just this week who misgendered a biological male in San Francisco, I guess it was, and Soros-funded George Gascon, punished this prosecutor for misgendering a child rapist. The child rapist doesn't really need the punishment. The prosecutor who misgendered him is the one that needs to be taught a lesson. That is America under Joe Biden.
No, it isn't. That's San Francisco under that particular DA. But also, misgendering someone in a public setting in a legal proceeding has nothing to do with the individual that you're doing it with. It's not about interpersonal politeness. That's about a standard that San Francisco has in general because of its constituency.
That is America under Democrats. That is an America that none of us recognize. And it's an America that's going to stay that way if we don't fight back and say enough is enough.
Oh, thank you, William O'Connor. Appreciate that. And thanks, Blue Moon. Appreciate it, Bethany. Happy birthday tomorrow. Donating some money for fixing the computer. Thank you. And to buy kitty treats. Well, we're not at the kitty treat part. We're still at the medical bills part, but I greatly appreciate it. It will go to making her Chud's life better. Thank you, Sparklers. Let's keep it going. Thank you, Nubia. Oh my gosh, you guys. Luna, thank you so much. Twisted Coconut, thank you guys. Wish it was a couple thousand instead. Oh, that's sweet. I appreciate it. I'm waiting for the one big whale. We'll find it one day. Blue Karma, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. And Francie, thank you for gifting the subs. Thanks for the follows, guys. I appreciate it. Okay, we'll continue. No. We're almost through this. Yeah, it's a little sparse there. I gotta say. Not a lot of youngins.
So guys, that's our message, right? We need a president that is not owned by other people.
Your dad has more debt than almost any human being in the fucking country. Foreign debt. What the shit are you talking about?
Right? There's a reason the billionaire class, even the billionaire conservative news class, wants someone other than Trump. It's because
even if they hate Joe Biden and they hate democratic social principles, they know that the economy does better under a Democrat. And even with more regulations and higher taxes, they're going to gain more money than if they let somebody like Trump back in and he cadavers the fucking economy and the populace like he did last time.
They want someone that needs them to take their call. You know, there's a lot of the billionaire class, even on the Republican side. It's like, yeah, we're really hard on China, but, like, don't be that hard.
Oh, you mean like your dad getting his ties and hats made there and his American flags?
Like, we still want our widget for a quarter-cent cheaper, and we'll destroy the American middle class to do so. Make no...
Excuse me, like, point of order, Mr. Chairman. Joe Biden's Made in America rule for the infrastructure bill is one of the single strongest pushbacks against items and materials purchased from China since the opening of China. The CHIPS Act, they just fucking yesterday, hold on one second. I put this out earlier. I think it was on Bloomberg, I want to say. Get back here. Go back to the original page. Hold on. Main page. Hold on. Let me see. I'll find it in here. Hold on. I'm looking for an article that came up. Hold on. There's a couple things. One thing. Let's see. It was just up today. Okay, hold on. I'll search for it. Let's see. China. Let's see if the newest one. Where the hell is it? Anyways, basically maybe it wasn't on that on there. Okay, hold on. There's a today. Hold on. Biden new rules. China companies. Blah blah blah. Biden plans to news. This will be the news. Biden semiconductor plan. Okay. Yeah, 12 hours ago. This goes out. I'd like to send this little song out to everybody. This is in lawfare. I'm going to send this little message out to all those Biden's owned by China assholes. On March 2nd, the Biden administration released its long-awaited national cybersecurity strategy. The new strategy comes more than 2 years after Biden took office and more than 4 years after the Trump administration issued its national cyber strategy in 2018. The release also occurs in the wake of a range of significant cyber intrusions and ransomware attacks, including SolarWinds, Microsoft Exchange, Colonial Pipeline, and JBS Foods. And while the strategy's publication may be belated, it was preceded by executive orders, strategies for meeting cybersecurity standards, and other law enforcement and international efforts undertaken by the Biden administration to improve the nation's cybersecurity and disrupt activities of threat actors. As the national, let's see, where I want to say it'll be in here, the companies, because they just added on top of the CHIPS Act. Here you go. Pillar 1, defend critical infrastructure. In the past few years, they've 16 sectors, did it again. Hold on. I'm going to try and go back to here. Yeah, here it is. I think this is the new one. U.S. expands crackdown on China export ban on Inspur and BGI. So Inspur is a leading server maker that competes with HP and Dell. BGI is cited for alleged role in human rights violations, meaning that they were giving machines to China against the Uyghur sanctions. Biden administration on Thursday announced export restrictions for dozens of Chinese entities, including server maker Inspur Group company and units of genetics firm BGI. These are they can't get American servers and American tech. Citing activities contrary to the U.S. national security and foreign policy interests, the Commerce Department added a number of companies to the so-called entity list for acquiring or attempting to acquire U.S. origin items in support of China's military modernization efforts. The department also cited companies providing support to Russia's military and supply sanctioned parties in Iran. There it is. Boink. To all those Biden is owned by China crowd. Fuck you, you dumb son.
No mistake. Okay. I want the guy that doesn't need to take that call. That
his dad is fucking broke.
Isn't entirely beholden to them.
He's not beholden to the donors. He's beholden to whoever backed his loans.
That is showing up to speak to the people, not showing up to speak to those who would rather go much softer on China.
By the way, that's a slam at DeSantis.
I didn't need this job to begin with. My father certainly didn't. It was a lot easier to shut the hell up for me and be a real estate developer from New York.
Yeah, something you never were.
Unfortunately for the Democrats and many rhinos.
My dad is the lowest rated single term president in American history, and we'll never get another bite at that apple.
And many. That is not our style. So, guys, don't forget to vote in the CPAC poll, but most importantly, right now, vote with your wallets. Support the.
Yeah. So this is an infomercial. I'm not even gonna let him fucking finish the sentence. Fuck that.